The Dawn of Dragon. Lathimas, the antiquarian who calls himself a scholar and an archaeologist, has finally managed to open the door in the dragon burial ground, but is he worthy of claiming the greatest treasure of dragonkind, one they've been fighting over for centuries on end? It seems the commander will be faced with an interesting dilemma. Go to the dragon burial ground. Okay. We shall do that. And the dragon burial ground is up here somewhere. There you are. Perfect. Okay. Random encounter. Maybe our skeleton friend. Chief Sol. Slowly, barely moving, a formless figure shuffles toward you. Oh goodness. When it finally draws near, you realize it's Chief Sol, but the state of him. The wound has desiccated him, he drained him of his last vestiges of strength. His clothes are caked in blood, his eyes are glazed and rolling in his head, and black saliva trickles from his limply gaping mouth. Sal, what are you doing here? Sal stares at you for a while, as if he doesn't recognize you, but his awareness slowly sharpens.
Commander, you're to Drazen. Going to Drazen, meet together. A rescue.
You're alone? Where are the other Mongols?
Savamelek, Slayer, they all... there.
Do you know where Salamelek's lair is? Zal gestures vaguely in the direction he came from.
There.
We're going back. You need help immediately.
Thank you, Commander. You're the commander. Need to get to Drazen. There, we'll talk later.
You serious? We just left Drazen. The game compels us to return to the city. Okay, the last resort.
I'm gone. It's time to act!
Sal is looking better. Magically, after 10 seconds, he's just... I'm good, kids. His wounds have been bandaged, his gaze is more lucid, and yet he's still not the same peaceful old man you left in Dresden. His haggard, pale face bears the mark of emaciation and death. The commander's back, so I can't believe it. Land Shackles, you must be charmed to something. I bet Savamelek thinks you must have died long ago. But here you are, wheezing away. Come on, tell us what happened. We need to hurry. What happened to the Mongols while I was gone? The solid's out of wheezing, heavy sigh. First, nothing usual. We were just living our lives, but the whole tribe got stricken with something. I would like to see it. Your arms ache, your legs ache, it tears you from the inside. Nobody knew anything about it. And then one night we all woke up. Sal thinks for a moment. Can't remember what came next. Remember opening my eyes. I'm walking out the gate. God stopped me and say, "Lady, I need your shoulders." Doesn't believe me and I just grabbed and I don't remember. I really don't. Sal shakes his head as if trying to drive away the dark thoughts. Like a nightmare, it was. I remember us walking a long way. I remember the white eyes of a demon, not people screaming. It's sickening to remember. I guess what was happening there, I can guess it. Savamelek performed his vile ritual again. Yes, they fed them human flesh, and when that wasn't enough for some, he was treating them with this poison. Sal shudders. It's sting, not shite. Those who survived became something else. Why were you wandering alone, the wound? Sal's face crumples as if he's about to cry. I'm old, weak, good for nothing. I even thought being a demon slave. I poured the blood down my throat, and still I couldn't get the power all that tribesman got. So the demon just said, "Be gone, carry on. But the won't kill you, you're on your last legs all the same, and thus I am." No, you are not useless. Savamelech underestimated you, but you beat him. You survived, and you made the journey back. All I could ever wish for is to be half as tough as you are, Sal. Do you remember where Savamelech is holed up? Yes, they were ruins, a valley of temples, he called them. Sal frowns as he searches his memory. He said something about a city hanging over a rift, an ancient city, like Ys. Ah, the city of Ys. It's a funny coincidence that we need to go there anyway. Although it's not much of a surprise, really. The demons are either cowards or idiots, so that's probably why asking Savamelech is sticking close to Ys, so we can turn tail and run back to his friends if things get ugly. How are you feeling? Sal looks at his shaking hands. I'm done. Done, Commander. My service is over. He said his poison makes us stronger. But my body can't take it. My time is short. If only I could know that my tribe will return, then I could lie down and die in peace. I'll bring your people back. Trust me. We will, Chief. I've sworn to destroy Savamelech, no matter what it takes. And I'll keep my words. My word. Maybe you can't. Maybe there's nothing to bring back anymore. Whoever's poisoned is poisoned forever, but seeing them before I go, even like that, be a blessing. Lan chuckles bitterly. Hey now, the commander has already promised you that we'll get everyone back. Don't make him reconsider, and don't you go dying on us before we get back, huh? Alrighty. Can we now leave?
We do it my way.
We were just leaving Dresden, and then the game just told us, well, now you're going back. Can we now please leave the city? Yes, I know that we can teleport, but we need to do a lot of stuff. We need to move armies, and we have Yvette. Another random encounter. Seriously? Please don't tell me we need to go back to Dresden again. Brothers, sisters, I'm having a vision. I see the Holy Martyr. There she is, standing before me as if she were alive, just like in her sacred image. A dirty, exhausted fighter in rusted armor jabs his finger at Ember, staring at her so intently that his eyes seem to almost bulge out of their sockets. Hey, Toil, look over there, it's definitely her. Don't be oh, I see her too. And who's that next? Is that the commander? A heavy-set female tiefling with broken horns and a convict brand on her cheek takes a hesitant step toward you. Yes, it's them, I swear by the holy eyes of the martyr, it's really them. Tata, the bricklayer who once stormed into your room to tell you Ember had been abducted, looks at you in awe. Oh, hello there. What are you talking about? I'm not a vision, I'm alive. Instead of answering, Toil falls on her knees before Ember, and the others follow her example. What are you doing? Stand up. Stand up now. We'll do whatever the Holy Martyr asks of us. Oh, they made a religion out of her in the 6 months that we were gone. Where are you going? We're going to the unholy altar of Baphomet, the one shattered by the tears of our Ember the Righteous. The surviving Templars, led by the demon Thaskarod, decided that it was time to repair it and start offering up sacrifices again since she was no longer there. They started with our former cultists. They keep them captive and kill them one by one. We will not abandon our people. We're going to free them and shatter the altar into dust while we're at it. along with the demon and his minions. So we're going to help them, of course. I won't lie to you, Commander. We could really use some help, but we have no time to gather reinforcements. Every hour we delay could mean a death sentence for one of our brothers and sisters. If you and the preacher decide to help us, we will be grateful till the end of our days. If not, well, we'll somehow have to handle it on our own. We'll help. We will help, won't we? Who are you? We call ourselves the Redeemed Brotherhood. Who we are? Toll scratches the brand on her cheek with gnarled fingers. The short answer is we are all scum. Convicts, deserters, looters, even a few former cultists. We're lowlifes, the worst of the worst, forsaken by the light, but Amber, she showed us the way. Those who heard our Saint Amber's preaching and decided it wasn't too late to do something better with our lives than throwing them into the abyss. Not all of us were lucky enough to see her in the flesh, of course, but those who heard her sermons passed on her words to others. We even collected her teachings and turned them into a book. Our thinking was, though Amber herself may be gone, well, we all thought she was gone. Her words would live on. They continue to spread and save those who were lost. But I didn't say anything special. These are simple things everyone knows. Not everyone, it seems, or perhaps they do know, but they don't know what to do with the knowledge. That's how people are. We need even the simplest truth explained to us so we can begin to live by them. I used to be a miscreant, too, before I got the chance to mend my ways. Gods be praised for giving us a second chance. The gods are far away. Better praise the people who help each other to drag themselves out of the dirt. Once, there were enough of us. We had the strength to fight back. So that's what we do now. We fight them everywhere we meet them. We didn't go with the queen. We decided someone should stay and keep an eye on the city and the surrounding area. Turns out we did the right thing, since we met you here. Why are you calling Ember the Holy Martyr? Everyone knows Ember perished in the abyss along with the commander and her other disciples, and thus became a martyr. Well, so everyone thought to believe until today. We really were in the abyss, but we are back now. What do you mean by disciple, since when am I her disciple? Aren't you? You travelled in her party, listened to her preaching, fought evil at her side. I think we learned something from each other. She smiled apologetically. What happened to your horns? I broke them off. The woman touches an uneven stump with her finger. I am human, not a demon. No matter what they say, I am human. Were you called a demon because you are a tiefling? Being a tiefling is only half of the problem. The real problem is this. The more evil you do in your life, the less good is expected of you. If you stole yesterday, you will also steal tomorrow, isn't that fair? But if everyone treats you like garbage, all you can ever be is garbage. Yeah, that's a deep one. Most often or not, people that become criminals become so out of, well, social groups, out of the lives they were born into. If you have enough resources, if you have enough options, if children have lots and lots and lots of stuff to do and a lot of options, the chance that they will become criminals is pretty low. The more wealth a society has, the less chance that people turn to crime. Poorer people are, the more crimes there are. And if people are born into poor families and they have no options, no scenario at the end of their road that might bring them a good life, well, it doesn't surprise me if they also turn criminal. Sometimes you have to give people a chance and a choice. What other choice do you have? And if a thief has horns on their head, well, everyone knows what that means. They are a demon. What else could they be? I used to rob and kill, got convicted, sentenced to hard labor, escaped, started over. I thought there was no other path for me. If honest people refuse to accept me, I don't owe them anything. I've done too much evil to try to repent. I've lived like a demon in the abyss, nothing but evil in my past and my future. And then I ran into these guys. I heard them praying for the demon's salvation. Well, at first I laughed. Then it hit me. What if I really do have a choice? What if there's something else in life beyond this never-ending nightmare? I spoke with those who'd see Amber in the flesh, listened to them recite her sermons from memory, and then I broke off my horns, and with that I broke away from my former life. Thank you for coming back. I am really happy for you, for all of you. A warm smile lights up the ex-convict's tough, weathered face. It is I who must thank you. You brought me back from the abyss. You brought me back to humanity. No, we haven't even met before. How could I be thankful for you changing your life? Maybe my words helped a little, but you did the most important part yourself. Terta, what are you doing here? You spared me before, though I deserved nothing but death. After that I vowed to dedicate the life you gave me to spread the teachings of our little preacher among the people. Fortunately, I was not alone. Now go. I wish you luck in the battle. I'll come to your aid. Thank you, Commander. With both you and Ember the Righteous on our side, we cannot lose. Bless us, oh righteous one. I am not a goddess to dole out blessings, but I wish you success. Ember smiles broadly. That was interesting. She looked a fan club. Why are they not leaving? That's a bit disturbing. But I'll accept it. Unforeseen calamity. Jewelry, yes. We need to solve that problem too. Damn, this Act 5 will take us ages. Oh, there's the Hell Knight outpost. We can do that already. Core of the Riddle. Solve for riddles, Baphomet's Shrine. Sure, why not? So let's get to the Hell Knight outpost. Outpost. Do we have anything to read there? That's a bit buggy. How do I? Hellnet. Okay, nothing new. Visit the Hellnet outpost with Regil, of course. So now, I guess now the time has come where Regil will either side with us or not, or maybe later in Is. I'm not sure yet.
If you dare. I'm always ready.
Whatever.
Hell Knight outpost welcomes you with sharp and inhospitable silence. Tall figures in black, imposing armor tower over you. There are no threats or greetings. Nothing at all. Regil takes his place in the formation near Paralictor End. Ty and Deothan, but slightly ahead of them. There is a barely noticeable shift in his posture and demeanor. It's almost like he's getting ready to perform a wearisome and unpleasant task. You all know why we are gathered here. Today, the Order's emissaries will hear the results of my investigation into the actions of the individual known as the commander of the Fifth Crusade, as well as decide the fate of said individual. Regil, explain yourself. I think it is obvious. The Order needs to know whether or not you can be trusted. I will coordinate the tribunal as someone who knows the facts better than the rest. Fine. I will hear what you have to say. I will state the facts as they are known to me. You reserve the right to speak in your own defense. Regil's voice remains cold and unpleasantly impersonal. I will start with the main reason for today's assembly. The source of the commander's supernatural powers had been hidden from us until recently, but now it is clear the emergence of these abilities were caused by Alilu Volesh, a criminal and an enemy that unequivocally and unconditionally must be destroyed. Whether the commander is her associate or an involuntary tool is yet to be determined. I am neither. Alilu has no means of controlling me, and any scholar of magic can attest to that. Your openness, your appeal to expert opinion, and your rational approach do you credit, Commander. They will be taken into account. Let us continue. Aside from the source of the power, there is also the matter of its application. The commander partially managed to overcome the destructive nature of his inherited powers. Unfortunately, he then went on to a different extreme and displayed excessive virtue. This excess is a flaw, though not an inexcusable one. Whatever my power is, I only use it to oppose the world wound and to benefit the crusade. Regil pays no attention to your words. We must also scrutinize the commander's temperament. The main question of interest to us was whether we could rely on such an ally. What if he became a puppet in the hands of our enemies? To determine this, I took the liberty of staging a test that featured several treacherous demons, and this test revealed the commander's complete unreliability. He is incapable of seeing through demonic deception and may be willing to cooperate with them, either voluntarily or as the result of clever manipulation. Enough. Paralictor Aminosrenth raises his hand, calling for silence. He and the other Paralictors exchange glances, then they nod in turn. We've seen and heard enough. The verdict is clear. What we have heard is sufficient to conclude that the accusations against the commander are unsubstantiated. We have no reason to suspect our ally of treason or associating Alilu Volesh. From now on, the orders are prepared to provide all possible assistance to the Fifth Crusade. Regil listens very closely, sometimes nodding in accord with the words of his fellow Paralictor, then states in a weary and disagreeable voice, I disagree, and officially dispute this decision. Do you intend to maintain your cooperation with the individual known as the commander of the Fifth Crusade, even after everything you have heard? Unbelievable. This stupid and perfidious decision puts you on the same page with the demonic lackey we have been discussing. Paralictor Derange is absolutely correct. Nobody has better knowledge or more in-depth experience in this matter than him. Derange, that is enough. We are not going to argue like cantankerous old men. This decision is final, and you know that you have no means to dispute it. This is correct. I do not. But I have a different way of correcting your stupid, childish mistake. Regil narrows his yellow eyes and gives you a piercing glare. I hereby challenge you to a duel, Commander. This is irresponsible of you, Derange, but lawful. I cannot interfere, even though I very much want to. The orders refuse to support you, and you're making a fool of yourself to soothe your wounded pride. Such behavior is not befitting of a Paralictor. Derange duel. What if I refuse? Deranged duel. Regal duel. Final verdict. Refuse to comply and you'll have to fight. Wait, what? Okay. If you instead agree to the tribunal, answer his questions as you wish. Regardless of what you say, Regal will challenge you to a duel. Accept and you will fight. Extra easy if you remove his equipment beforehand. Whether or not you fight, Renth will declare the Hell Knights your ally once more and Regal removed from command. Afterward, Regal will explain himself, at which time you can tell him to get lost or remain with you. Okay. Oh, that's it? Well, let's agree to the duel. Clear the room and make the necessary preparations.
Close ranks.
Quick!
Enough of this farce and this petty squabbling. The verdict has been passed and is not subject to appeal. The Hell Knight orders have no complaints against the Fifth Crusade or its commander. Indeed, we are now confident we can completely trust your commander. From this moment, not only will the Hell Knights continue fighting in the World Wound as allies of the Crusaders, we shall also put our elite squads under your command. The World Wound must be closed, and we will assist you to the best of our ability. Aminos gives Regal a steely glare. We also apologize for the actions of Paralictor Regal Derange. He's overstepped his bounds and made a number of other questionable decisions that make us doubt his competence. He is henceforth removed from command of his chapter and stripped of his Paralictor rank, pending further orders from Godclaw headquarters. Regal's expressionless face is impossible to read. I mean, his face is under a helmet anyway. I'm going to remove that helmet, it looks ridiculous. He appears to be unfazed as always. He simply shrugs in response to Amino's words. I hope there will be no further misunderstandings between us. There won't be, Commander. The purpose of this council was to eliminate them. Regal, now no longer a Paralictor, does not make or move a sound. Move or make a sound, but instead casts a quick glance that lets you know he'd like to speak in private. Of course we're going to do that. That's interesting.
I believe I owe you an explanation, Knight Commander.
Regal does not appear to be shaken or perturbed by what had just happened. His stern expression changes slightly, for a fleeting moment becoming calmer and more pensive. I'm listening.
First, I'd like to paint you a picture of the situation I found myself in shortly before we met. I was one of the first to receive the information about an individual supposedly chosen by the gods who appeared in Canabris. This message was followed by the news that the Queen of Mendev had appointed this person as the commander of the new crusade. The orders reacted in every conceivable way. I imagine that you and anything even remotely related to you was being discussed in every corner of every Hell Knight citadel. I did not have to be present to imagine the words spoken and the suggestions offered, nor the chaos. The orders often cannot agree, even among themselves. Anticipating the upcoming arguments, I submitted a petition and volunteered to attach myself to the new commander in order to assess his leadership and discover the true nature of his powers. But a good strategist looks far into the future. The role I gave myself was just the beginning. I watched and prepared contingency plans for every potential turn of events, such as if you turned out to be a menace that must be destroyed, or if you turned out to be a valuable asset and our best hope of triumphing over the abyssal host. An ally who must be supported, no matter the cost. I have been a Hell Knight for most of my life. I know the orders like the back of my hand. All our might, determination, and glory, as well as our weaknesses. Unfortunately, it was clear that not all of us would appreciate the tremendous potential of such an important piece showing up on the board. I could write dozens of reports, give you the most stellar of testimonies, and that still wouldn't be enough to convince the skeptics.
So this was a master plan in order for the Hell Knights to support us? And what would you put in these reports? What is your honest opinion of me?
I believe you are our best chance of healing the world wound once and for all. But there is more. I see you not as a tool or a game piece, but as an ally. And a commander with great leadership potential. Which is why it is so important to remove the division between you and the Orders.
Consequences of the Hell Knight's disapproval be?
For you, the worst-case scenario would have involved a war on two fronts. Having said that, I do not think things would have gotten that far. You have proven yourself to be an ally to the entire world, not a threat to it. Still, even the loss of support from the Hell Knights or the hostility of individual highly aggressive orders could have cost your crusade dearly. I wanted to avoid that crisis. Only a military tribunal would be able to resolve the issues between the Crusade commander and the Hell Knights. As formal a hearing as possible, to assure the orders they had considered the case and had the chance to pronounce a verdict. The occasion also called for a sacrifice. A symbolic victim would reinforce the impression of a successful trial and a unanimous decision. Nothing bolsters the reputation of the accused like the public humiliation of their accuser. I was the obvious choice for the role. So I organized this tribunal and did my best to ensure that the paralictors arrived at the only correct decision, given the circumstances. Of course, this meant that my reputation would be destroyed, and I would be stripped of my rank. But that's inconsequential. Such losses are acceptable.
He might be my favorite character in this entire game.
I make no great fuss about the routine, but I do realize the full scope of its effects. The Fifth Crusade is quite possibly my last campaign. The pressures of time push people to extreme measures, and I am no exception. My aim was more than simply to prevent the Hell Knights from rallying against you. I wanted to strengthen your alliance, to give you a powerful army, a strong asset in the confrontation with the abyssal host. My gambit was successful. I am satisfied.
Thank you, Regil. I appreciate your sacrifice.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. I did what had to be done. Now that we are entirely clear, let us return to the main objective. I still hope to see the matter of the world wound resolved once and for all.
Better for worse, and had done what he has been planning to do for a long time. Lies can be a powerful weapon, but the truth usually is a sharper edge. Alrighty.
Speak with your actions, not your words.
Can we get anything of interest here? Otherwise I'd say we can just return to the world map. Well done, so we have the Hell Knights at our disposal. Let's see what's in here. Oh, come on, horse. Gallop. Ugh. Oh yeah, it's the buggy area again. Nothing here, right? Yeah, nothing, okay.
Whatever.
Lictor Aminothrens, Knight Commander. Oh, ay. Okay. That's a story for next episode.